Ustream and whatever else there is out there. But you can always turn it down to up to 3 times your 3 divided by 3 times your current resolution. So do as much as you like and whatever makes your computer work the smoothest. Filter, make sure this is on Lancoast best detail, because you'll see with the OEM device that there's a lot of ghosting if this is not turned on. If you're on the lower quality, then it will ghost a lot, and this does not affect your computer much, so this is a win-win for everybody. FPS, just leave it at 30 if you're going to be using this OEM device, because that's the maximum amount of frame rate it can do anyway, so there's no reason to go more, because that will just take more resources. It's inefficient. Audio, you can set up your desktop or microphone to use during the stream. I do not recommend using this because 1, you can't test the microphone unless you use the file output, and 2, there is a much more efficient way to do this. I will talk about this in my advanced stream tutorial, but for now, I'll show you a workaround for this. You can use this if you like, but I recommend not to unless you absolutely feel it's necessary. Now, hotkeys again, you can click a keyboard on your button and it does it. Don't click this. There's no reason to. There's no reason why you should. This just basically boosts audio. This is how much time offset is on the microphone. Now I'll explain why this is important after I get to the explaining the audio of the output from the device. In advanced, you don't need to mess with any of this. It's perfectly fine. It's fine as is. Unless you have a higher end computer, then you can increase this to you can tell how much you want the CPU to do. So the lower the speed on the encoder, the more weight your CPU takes in, and the less network lag there is. So if you have a slow network but a really beefy computer, turn down the settings regardless of what this says. So I just keep it at very fast because my CPU is very mid-grade. Encoding profile, just change it to either main or high. It doesn't really matter. I guess the higher it is, the more priority it is to the computer. All this other stuff, just don't even bother. It's perfectly fine as is. Now, let's add our first scene to the front HUD of the Open Broadcasting software. So let's add our scene and call this whatever, composite. I don't care. Call it anything you like. This is the scene that it will be called when you start up your stream. So now we can go in and we can do 2 options here. One, we can add a scene specific type of recording or plugin or image or whatever, or we could go to global sources and we can add one in to where it will always be on any scene or any profile regardless. So say for example you have your composite device, which is the EasyCap, and you want to make sure that you can use this throughout any of the scenes that you're in. Just go to global sources, click add, and click video capture device. Now I'll explain a little bit about these features. Window capture is basically a window on your desktop that you can capture and view. So say for example you have like a game running in a window, you could capture that game. Monitor capture is where it takes the entire monitor, which I used for the tutorial, and captures the entire thing. Image is what it sounds like. You can add an image to your stream. Image slideshow is just what it says, an image slideshow. Text is what it says, it's text. And some of these are custom features from plugins that I may go over in a separate day. Video capture device is any device that is USB compatible and takes in an audio feeds, or audio and video feed. So like for example this camera or the OEM EasyCap device, or etc. etc. Game capture is the same as Windows capture, only I think it's more optimized for games specific. I don't know very much. I don't use it very often. So let's name this whatever, composite. And we have all the devices here in this window that is specific to the video capture device. So we have all sorts of devices here. The one that should be by default, though, is the OEM device. This is the one that we install the drivers for. This is where all the video feed is going to come from. Select this, and it should automatically be set. But in case you want to tweak a couple things, you can go into the configure tag and change the video format. I recommend changing it to NTSC for American Video, America. And you can go to the video processor to change how sharp it is, how much color, what brightness, contrast, etc, etc, if you have knowledge of that stuff. Else, you could just leave it as is. Now, deinterlacing. Now, I'll show you an example of it without. There's already global source using this device. That's fine. Normally won't say that, but since I already have a device under global sources that's using OEM, there's no need for this. So, audio input device. This is normally on device audio, but there are other options you can use. I'll explain the pros and cons of this after we get started. So let's output the stream to desktop, or output the stream to desktop. Oh, right, forgot. And let's add, and then in global sources, once you're done adding it into global sources, it should list all of the stuff that you've added in the global sources tab. So you don't have to go back and continue adding all the same stuff and going back and resetting all the stuff for each scene. Just go into your global sources and you'll have them right there. I save mine as composite source. Now let's use device audio and no blend, none of that. So this is just the straight video feed. Now let's turn on this little Wii over here. Now let's click preview stream to see what it would look like if we were streaming over the internet. And we have our video feed. Now this is what the quality will look like without any filtering or anything. Now you might be saying to yourself, well wait, hold on a second. There isn't any any scaling. It's just sitting in the corner right there. What do I do? It's just sitting in the corner. I don't know. Cool your jets, guys. I got it covered. Edit scene. This is the most convenient feature in OBS because you could just take anything that you want inside of OBS. Let's say, for example, just this random image that I have here, and you can move it around, you can scale it, and all sorts of stuff like that. Now, another problem you may be coming into is that now all the stuff is disorganized. There's some things above others. I don't know what to do. Easy. If you have something, whatever is on top, like there is a list of order. Like from the sources, whatever's on top is top priority, and whatever's on bottom is bottom priority. So you can move stuff down and up holding control and clicking the arrow keys. So down and up will change the priority of it. So now this image is sitting in the background instead of the foreground. So now our video feed is what's made. So we have a little image in the background here and our video feed. Now this is perfectly acceptable unless you want a more polished experience from the film. Now let me start up Smash Bros. To show you an example of why currently this is not acceptable for stream. Now we have everything set up. The imagery should be the audio should be sent through the audio should be oh whoops, my mistake. The audio should be properly sent over to the stream, and we should have no problem. Now, if you wanted to, you could always go back and change the audio output to desktop, but I'm not going to do that because I have a microphone here, and that will cause some issues. Oh, wait, no, maybe I can't. That's right, I'm wearing earbuds. Whoa. Alright, so you might have to turn it down a little bit because the audio capture is not the finest quality on this device. Now let's start up a little bit of Project M on training and move around a bit.
Training. Mario. Ready, go!
Now if you'll notice, there are some really harsh lines that are being seen inside of the video. Now let's change this back to output audio stream only. Now you'll see that there are some really harsh lines that are being seen, and this is really distracting. You can remove this by simply going to Composite Source, deinterlacing, which is basically an output filter from the device, and click Blend. Now our video will have slightly lower frames per second, but those harsh lines will be gone. So now everything in motion will seem much smoother. So now we have our very first stream set up. We have the OBS set up. We have the OEM device set up, and we have the amplification distributor sending signal to both this video feed and over to the television, so you can stream while playing your games without the unnecessary lag of said device. Now, if you want to make sure the quality of your film is acceptable, you can always click Start Streaming and work from there. But this is all we'll cover for today's tutorial. Later on, we will go over the how to live stream the film and send it over to Twitch or to Ustream or any other service that is necessary. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this tutorial, and I hope to see you again very soon. Take care.